Hi, everyone, and welcome to the second episode of CMS Studios podcast. I'm your host, Kayla, joined by my co-host,
Zoie.
And we'll be joined later by Christa again. So quick disclaimer, like how we did last time, this episode will have spoilers of the season finale of Euphoria. If you have not watched it, do not listen to this yet because we're going to be talking about everything. But yeah, basically just an overview of the episode. It was the finale. We finally got to see the fight between Maddie and
finally.
Yes, between Maddie and Cassie. We finally got to see the fate of Fez and Ashtray, which is a lot went down. Nate and Cal, everybody, it has something going on basically. So, Zoe, what were your overall thoughts of this episode?
Oh my goodness. It was a lot to watch at first. Like, it was hopping from one thing to another. And I don't like how it left with so many cliffhangers.
Yeah, I was like, so, and then supposedly the season 3 is not coming out till 2024.
Yeah.
So I gotta sit on this till 2024? Are you kidding me?
Literally. Yes. Because it was like that. See, when I watched Euphoria when it first came out and nobody kind of knew. I watched it when it was on YouTube before it like hit HBO. Well, it was already with HBO, but before like they transferred the season 1 mainly to HBO. But I watched it that summer it came out. I think it was like 2019, 2018 summer.
Mm-hmm.
So I was waiting on season 2 for a while too. Yeah. So I'm like, I already knew. I'm like, as soon as this episode is over, it's gonna at least be a year or two before we figure out what's gonna happen next, because that's just how it is. Like,
I thought it would at least just be like a year, because I know they probably did 2 years because of COVID, but I was like, Dad, can we just get, just a year? Like, how shows the show airs and they start filming like that next, the end of the year, and then it comes out around the time it usually comes out. But they said 20. Well, I haven't seen it posted on any of their pages.
Right. It's not official. Yeah. But it's like rumors.
It's a lot of rumors, and I don't like that the rumors are saying that, but hopefully it's season 3 next year, unless all the actors have a bunch of obligations and we actually.
Yeah, I think that's probably like part of the reason why it's going to be a while, because I know like Sydney, Lexa, Zendaya, of course, all of like the big main characters in Euphoria have a lot of their own personal projects going on. Mm-hmm. Like Alexa, she's working on her own movie. I know she's working on her own movie to portray her mother, where she's going to be telling the story of her mother.
Oh, wow.
Sydney, and Sydney, she has like her own like film production company. I know she does a lot of things on her own. And we all know about it. I don't even go into Zendaya.
Yeah, Zendaya being everything.
She did everything. Yep. And same for like bunch of the other characters that aren't on screen as well. They're like heavily involved, not only like within the film industry, but like with modeling and commercials and stuff like that. So,
and they probably got booked during the time that Euphoria was supposed to be filming, so they probably
contracts and stuff like that they got to stick to.
Yeah, hopefully we don't have to wait long. Hopefully A24 or Euphoria themselves or HBO says something to calm off our nerves, because
they need to put out an official statement or something.
But yeah, you can continue with all our thoughts. I don't know if you were finished.
Oh yeah, I was just saying, I just like hate how I was left with so many questions at the end of the episode. Like,
yeah, I was kind of like, I wouldn't say I was in shock the whole episode, because I was waiting to see Maddie whoop on her. I was waiting. And then I already kind of like mentally prepared myself that either something's going to happen to Fez, Asher, something's going to happen to both of them. So I think I was already mentally okay that I figuring that something was going to happen, but it still just hurt me when it happened. Like,
yes. Like, literally, I was not, and like, I was trying to imagine in my head before the episode on like how it would unfold, trying to make my little predictions and whatnot. But like, oh my gosh, especially in the scene when he was telling Ash you are not about to take the fall for this. Like, I can't let anything bad happen to you. And he was yelling and screaming at him to come out of that bathroom. I'm like,
right.
Oh my gosh, it was hard to watch. It really was.
Well, speaking of them, let's get into Fez and Ashtray in this episode. How did you feel about their characters in this episode? Or since it was the finale, let's talk about the season overall if you want to.
Yeah. So with Fez and Ashtray, they did a really good job. Like, they always do a good job. Like, throughout Euphoria as a whole, they do a really good job conveying how strong their relationship are. You can really just see that Ashtray is like, you talk about savage. Oh my gosh. Any little inconvenience, any small little thing that he notices, any sort of danger towards not just him, but Fez or like their whole business as a whole, he is on it.
Right.
And it's like a good and a bad thing, because like ultimately, in my opinion, that's how he like ends up getting killed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like one thing leads to another. And like, because Ashtray is so protective, he goes like extreme measures of like, you know, freaking killing Mouse and killing what's his name? I don't even know that. I can't
remember his name, but
I can't remember his name. He's Ops.
Yeah.
But Ops, I don't care for it. So he didn't hesitate to stab him in the throat. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like that's extreme, but like that just tells you like they do not play, like they are serious about it. And like Fez knows this, and that's why he was like trying to stop him, like, you know, telling him to chill out, like don't do that. But once Ashtray has his mind on something to like execute something or to execute somebody, he's going to do it.
Yeah, and I also feel like since that's like basically that's all Ashtray knows is, you know, family over everything and protect yours. And I feel like that was just what he was gonna die by, is protecting his family. And I respect that. I honestly feel like he went out like how Cleo did and set it off, getting shot up basically. Like it was just and you know that when the laser was going across his chest and up his face, he for a moment he looked scared. And I was like, at the end of the day, Ashtray was only a child. So it was nice.
So sad.
It was sad, but nice to see that him come down from his like, I'm hard, I'm ready for anything. I'm trained to kill, basically, to see him come back to his age and see the child in him be scared at the end.
Yeah.
It was just, it just hit different. Like it just
Yes, that's a very, very good point you made, because like oftentimes even myself, like watching it, I forget how young he is. Like you just kind of forget, because he's so mature, he's so into like the operation and business. He's all about business, family, like he's so into it, you just forget how young he is. Like,
right.
Woo.
It's just that scene, watching Fez and Ashtray go through that in this episode was just, it was hard, but I just know for a fact Fez about to be messed up for the rest of the show.
Yeah.
He had to watch Ashtray get killed, and he was begging him the whole time to stop, but Ashtray was going to die by his family. He did not want him to take the fall.
Right. He was begging both sides. He was not only telling Ashtray to chill out, but he was telling the cops that was coming in, the people that were about to, you know, take him to jail. What's the official name for them?
What, I think, was it the SWAT team or
something like that?
I think they're the SWAT team. I think it was
something like, the SWAT team. Just watching, like he was begging them, like it's a kid in there, like he's just a kid, he's just a child, please don't shoot at him, like don't shoot at him. He was telling both sides to like chill out.
And that's what blew me too. I was like, okay, I understand he got a big old gun in that bathroom. I don't know what type of gun, a rifle, whatever.
Yes.
He had a big old gun. He was strapped, ready. I understand that. But I'm like, bro, y'all could have shot him in like the arm or something. Like y'all waited. Y'all shot him in the head.
Yeah, like right in the head.
But I really feel like it's because Ashtray did that trick when the cop walked up to the door and he was acting like he was laid out and shot him. I feel like that's why they shot him in the head. They basically assassinated him.
Right.
It was just, it was a lot.
It's really sad how that ended. But I already had a feeling it's only so long before like somebody's gonna have to take the downfall. Like that's how it is with stories and plot centuries.
Yeah.
Everybody's gonna have to take a downfall at the end. Like nobody can stay strong and stay secret forever. Like everything eventually comes to light, and everybody eventually is gonna like have to face their downfall or take their L. So it's sad how it happens, but like it was bound to happen eventually,
Yeah, but I do hope, to keep on the topic, I hope Faye, since she showed a little bit of loyalty by telling Fez to be quiet, I really hope whatever happens in the next season that she tells the cops that it wasn't Fez that did it and Asher was the one who did it, and he's gone now. So so Fez will have to be in prison.
Yeah,
like I don't want Fez in prison. Like I love him so much.
Yes, I was proud of Faye. This episode. Like, I feel like she still could have done a little bit more. Like, maybe still let him know ahead of time.
Right.
She really went down before that, because like now, like it's urgent. At that point, when she dropped the cup or the glass or whatever and was telling them to be quiet, at that point, SWAT was already on the way. At that point, they're already listening to them. If they're not on the way, it's not already posted up. Like, they was already posted up. So at that point, Faye, like you did your thing, but you could have done it a little bit sooner. Right. Maybe saved a life. Like,
right. I don't know where they're gonna take her character, because I don't know. She a little wishy-washy too much for me. I don't know.
Yeah.
But let's get to the next one. At the end of the day, RP Ashtray. Just so the world knows it's RP Ashtray. Okay?
No, for real. Rest in power.
Right. So let's get into another group of characters. Let's talk about Rue and Jules. They had a brief moment this episode. I felt like my personal opinion, I was proud of Rue for basically saying, I love Jules. That was my first love, but I'm gonna walk away. That's how I interpreted it. I don't know if you took it that way, but her kissing her on the head and walking away and having her whole little, monologue about how that was her first love. She wouldn't remember it that way. I honestly took it as that, and I was like, yes, leave where it's at, because in my opinion, I feel like Jules didn't even really know Rue, because the whole time Rue was with her, she was high.
Yeah.
And then the part where freaking Jules didn't even know that Rue was back on drugs really blew me. Like, I was like, how you don't know? Do you not see her face?
Like seriously, it's like obvious signs. Like, and it's like, that's the thing though. Like, I'm gonna circle back to what you were basically talking about with her making the choice to leave away. But to your point of her being like naive or whatever, at this point, like, not to like poke and stab at her previous drama, but like she should know and recognize the signs of somebody who is not sober or who is on drugs. Given, like I said before in the previous episode, she went through the same thing with her mother being on drugs. Like, she should recognize something. And she may not catch on automatically, but she had to have been sensing something. Like, she's not all there. Like, she had to have been sensing that Rue was not all there.
But remember, she was getting into Elliot at one point as well, so that's probably why she didn't recognize that much.
Blood blinded.
Yeah.
But yeah, and back to your point about Rue making decisions to turn away. As I definitely agree with you on that. Like, you can definitely see the character development. And I'm proud of Rue for making that decision too, because it's like, they break up, they're separated, Rue's mad at the world, Jules is just wishy-washy, and then like they come back together, oh, I miss you, they're crying and kissing and blah, 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 blah. And then they get into it again. And it's just a repetitive cycle. We saw this at the very first episode at the New Year's party. And that whole conversation that went down when they was at the fire. So like this moment, it's like a good turning point for Rue, and I'm proud of her for that. I'm glad it happened. It needed to happen finally, and Jules knew it. I feel like based on her reaction after Rue kissed her and walked out the auditorium, like it's definitely not what she expected. You can tell it's definitely not what she expected, but like I feel like she subconsciously know that's what needed to happen. Like, she knows it's gotta end. Like, y'all gotta go your own ways. You need to do what you need to do, and she gotta do what she gotta do.
Right, because Rue needs to focus on what? Getting sober, staying sober,
Mm-hmm.
Continuing to be sober.
Yeah. And she said she was sober for the rest of the school year.
Yes, and I gasped so hard. I was like, yes. And she was like, I don't know if this feeling's gonna stay. I'm not quoting her, but she was like, I don't know if this feeling's gonna stay, but hopefully, she's trying, whatever. And I was just like, yes, let's keep it that way. Jules, don't come over here interrupting nothing because you want to be with her so bad. If you want to be with her, admit the fact that you slept with Elliot. Let's get into that.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
And I feel like Rue already low-key knows that too, though.
Yes, because, okay, so since we're going to bring up Elliot, let's talk about him. Yeah, I feel like when he sung his 3-minute long song and then talked about he was still working on it, you took up 3 minutes of the episode just to sing. And then the way Rue was like, basically saying, like, the way she was saying, I forgive you and stuff, it kind of gave me, like, I know you mess with my girl and you snitched on me and you're not even sober yourself, but I forgive you. That's kind of how I took it.
Yeah,
you said what?
Yeah, I was going off your point, especially when she told him, don't worry, I'm not going to snitch on you, when he admitted that he was still on drugs too. Like,
right.
Oh, the character development, we love it.
And I don't know how I feel about Elliot. Like, I still feel like you basically came as a third in this relationship and then kind of messed it up, and then you're gonna snitch on the one that's supposed to be your friend. Like, I don't get it. And then you turn around, don't even be sober yourself. How you gonna snitch on somebody for them to get sober and you're not even sober yourself?
Yeah, like it's the hypocrisy.
Yes,
that like be making me mad. But at the same time, like Rue said, like even though it really pissed me off, you kind of saved my life, which I appreciated that. He could have done it in a different way, like, sir, get yourself together, stop messing with Jules, and then try to help her. But it happened so abruptly, but like it was a life-saving like choice, like that happened. And Rue realized that, and Elliot knows that. So it could have happened. It could have gone down a different way, but I'm just glad that Rue is getting like herself together.
Right.
Some good came out from the bad. So we just gotta focus on that good. We just gotta focus on the positive outcomes of that.
Okay, we have been joined by our other co-host, Christa. Woo! So let's get back into the character breakdowns and overall thoughts about the characters this episode and overall season. I guess it was the finale. Now let's get into Nate and Cal. I don't know if you guys want to start, but I can start if you want me to, if y'all cool. But okay, so y'all, I was shocked because I really thought, since Nate walked in there with the gun, I really thought he was gonna take his dad out, but him calling the cops on him had me like, hold on. I loved it. I'm like, okay, we can get some justice because this man is a predator. But like, I was really like, oh, you not gonna kill your daddy? Like, because that would have been a plot twist. I was not ready for it. I wasn't ready for neither one of them, but I was just like, okay. I mean, I don't like that Nate got a slight happy ending and nobody else did. But I just, I'm glad that he did one good thing in this entire show and sent his nasty daddy to jail. What do y'all think? What do y'all think?
I think that he deserved to go to jail, Cal, but I also think Nate deserves to go to jail too. I feel like Nate got off scot-free this season. Like, he didn't really have any like repercussions for anything he did. Like I'm happy that Cal went down, but it's like we need Nate to go down too.
Right.
Yes, I definitely agree. Like, especially for the mess he pulled in season 1, like being that boy that was messing with Maddie in that pool. Right. Like, everybody be forgetting about that. Like, and he like made people lie about being witnesses. He made Jules lie and Maddie lie so that he wouldn't take the fall. Yeah. Like, basically threatening people and blackmailing people all around. Like, that's a crime within its own. They both need to go to jail. They can share a cell. That'll be their own jail if they share a cell.
Right. And didn't he have a little flash drive in his hand, or was I tripping?
Yeah, that was the flash drive.
Yeah, I was like, and you got copies of it, Nate, for real. I mean, I understand you want to keep some you could blackmail your daddy with, but like, now destroy it. Cause why y'all still got all this child pornography?
Get rid of it. The cops have got him. He's under arrest. Get rid of it.
Right.
Unless he got to go to court or whatever. Okay, if he's keeping it for court, sure. But like, still, like,
And Nate just admitting to his dad that he had that nightmare about his dad doing him how he did all those people in the videos. I was like, oh, don't say that out loud.
That's why all the people that he was with, they got so uncomfortable.
Yeah, they was all like, they was all fidgeting and stuff. I was like, I feel the same way, because what? No. But yeah, I'm just, I honestly, if I want to reach a little bit, if I want to make a big reach, I feel like Nate did that to like somehow save himself from becoming his dad. Like he wanted to get justice to put his dad away and I guess like get rid of this idea he had of himself becoming him. That's honestly the reason why I feel like he did. Like I feel like he didn't do it just because to get justice for all the victims or whatever. I feel like he did it for his own reasons.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. I think that he did it because he was trying to like ignore that part of himself. So he's like, okay, if I get rid of my dad, maybe my own thoughts will go away, sort of thing.
Yeah.
But it's like, Nate, you gay. It's okay. Like, my God, it is okay.
Like he's gonna fight that off till the day is like till his last breath. He's gonna fight that off, that identity off to his last breath.
Like maybe season 3 we'll get a character arc of him coming out or something.
I doubt
it. No.
I don't want to sound so negative, but I really doubt it.
I doubt it too, because he's so gung ho on just denying it, and I'm like, okay, whatever.
Like that, and everybody was Twitter, and everybody was talking about how he was talking about that is so homophobic, but he stormed out from
Yeah, I saw that.
I'm like, what do you mean by that?
Right, I thought he was the most homophobic one on the show.
Talking about that's so homophobic. I'm like, whoa.
Is this you coming out?
Like, are you admitting it, or are you just like you saying that it was homophobic, but you not part of the like? What do you mean like that? Can you clarify? Can you clarify your intentions on saying that, please?
Right. But I'm just glad that the only good thing that came out of that situation was Cal going to jail because he's nasty.
Yeah.
But I will say, if the only way I can end up liking Nate is if he eventually stops doing horrible things to people and eventually accepts himself and comes out as himself and figures out his identity. But do y'all have any other comments about them? I
don't think I really want to like Nate regardless.
I feel like
I won't forget nothing. I'm not gonna forget nothing he done did. But
no, you just can't. Like, it's so much.
Yeah. I feel like Nate needs to like go to jail, or something has to happen to him for me to like accept him. Like he has to go through something or like get punishment for what he's done before anyone can really like accept him.
Yeah, I agree. He needs to face the music to the stuff he done did.
Yeah.
So let's get into one of the big. We've been waiting for this, Maddie versus Cassie, and a little bit of Lexi involved in that too. How did y'all feel? What were your reactions? Like, I was ready. I was so happy.
I was happy.
Let me make a disclaimer though. We do not promote violence.
Yeah, we don't. Oh yeah. No.
It's all fictional.
No. Yeah. This is not who we are, but okay. I was happy Marion and Cassie finally had their little round, but it was not enough for me.
It wasn't.
Like, the slap was nice. Cassie getting her head banged into the brick wall or whatever type of wall that was, banged into the wall in general. That was nice, but like, I want to see some fists.
Yeah.
I want to see a little bit more. Like, I was tired of Cassie like this whole freaking season. Cassie running, crying.
And playing victim.
Yes, like girl, stand up. Like Wicked the D, stand up.
Oh my God.
Because like how you go from being so bold, you shouting across the auditorium, I'm not a cunt, you're a cunt. Da, 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 da. Like,
Right.
And then when she come up on the stage, you running and screaming and crying. Like,
Yeah. Or like the part when she was like, I'm crazier than Maddie. But then the minute Maddie tries to like fight her, she runs away. So I'm like,
yeah, you're not that. Yeah.
Yes,
Maybe
even when
psychologically
Maddie,
you are.
you said what?
I said maybe psychologically she is, because Maddie's not gonna do no messed up stuff like Cassie did.
Yeah.
Psychologically, yeah, Cassie is crazier. But when it comes down to it, like being about what she said she's about, like the action, that's all Maddie. Hands down.
For real. I love I love her getting beat up a little bit, but I love when they ended up in the bathroom, and I just love seeing how Cassie was just so beat up and so distraught after she done talked all this, ish on the stage, saying, they were together and I lived my life and I'm gonna get judged for living my life, blah blah blah, like just putting herself on this pedestal. And it's like, girl, you're not really no better than your little boyfriend, honestly. We're gonna get into it. Like, and the fact that Maddie looked, only scratch she had was on her foot and her nails were still intact, her outfit was still good, hair still laid. It just shows the contrast between the characters and how they go about stuff and what mental state they're both in. Like,
Yeah.
But that was just my 2 piece. And I did not like how Cassie came at Lexi. Granted, of course she was gonna be mad about it, but like, girl,
yeah,
don't try to come for your sister.
It was uncalled for. It was literally uncalled for. Because like,
where's his energy when it's Maddie? You only want to fight everybody except for Maddie. Where's his energy?
Yeah. And like the mother then got up on a stage. Oh, she tried her best. I applaud her efforts, but oh my gosh, it was one thing after another.
Yeah, or like that the audience was still on Lexi's side. Like she tried to turn the audience against her sister, but like they were like, you're the villain, like you're the bad guy. You're up here ruining the play and thinking that people are gonna be on your side, but they're not.
Yeah.
And girl, honestly, everybody just looking at you because they want you to take your clothes off, basically.
Yes.
Like
I heard that little comment. Show us your boobs.
Yeah, nobody really checking for her as a person. What she was trying to say, girl. They really just trying to laugh at you still.
Like, it's sad. It's like that, but at the same time, like, girl, you too far on the end. Like, you so gone. Like, you're just so gone. Like, out of reality, completely delusional.
Completely. Like, and then she's trying to keep herself in this delusion so she won't have to feel the guilt. And it's like, girl, you went behind your best friend's back. Ain't no running from it. There's no
crossover, like, for real.
There's no running from it.
Yeah, talking about some. You haven't lived your life, Lexi. That's why you can sit here and judge all of us. She's been living her life, but in the shadow of others. And that wasn't necessarily a choice she even made for herself. Sometimes that was the choice made for her. That little montage of her in the hospital, always showing support for Rue, showing support for just everybody that in her life. And like her mother said, that whole scene when she was in her mother's lap, like, I forgot the line.
You said you always have to take care of everybody else. It was
I feel like you always have to take care of, like, to my point. It's not necessarily because she chose to. It's kind of like what was given to her. You know what I'm saying? Right. You can only play with the cards you're dealt with. So, like, Cassie, please.
Please. But did y'all have any other comments about them before we get into cinematography and writing? Or did I miss any characters?
I want to say real quick that her mom was the best person ever, because at first I was like, she's just like a drunk or she doesn't really pay attention, but like she really like came through for Lexi this last 2 episodes.
Yeah. I thought that as well. I was like, oh, they mama just a drunk, but she really showed up this last part of the season.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, okay.
Yeah.
And I appreciated that.
Yeah, I did too. Like, I really, because that's how I was thinking too. Like, I hate just assuming that about somebody, but that's all you shown about a character, that's what you're gonna be thinking. But like, I'm glad I got to see like the humanity in her mother and like how she tries her best to sympathize, not only with Lexi, but with like she tried with Cassie too, bro. She did.
Yeah, and Cassie
it was to the point where she got fed up, but she really tried to sympathize with her daughters and be there for her, because like they all as a collective just been through it.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, so let's get into our favorite shots, maybe lines or anything else regarding production of the show. I can say one of my favorite scenes, like how I said earlier, the pheasant ashtray scene, just the last shot that we got of Ashtray and that laser, whatever, the light laser from the gun going trailing up his chest to his forehead, the center of his forehead was just, it was beautifully shot. It was so sad. Like I just knew that was it. I was like, they're about to kill him in the head. Like they gotta shoot him in the head. Like, really? And it just, the fact they didn't show us that, you know, him getting shot and we just watched Fez's reaction was, woo, that was a great production choice in my opinion, but it was just, it hurt a lot.
Yeah.
Favorite scenes?
Go ahead.
My favorite scene would have to be the scene with Lexi and Rue in her room, and they're talking about their fathers, and I felt like that was so good because we got to kind of see like Rue and Lexi connect again.
Yes.
And then like also like the talk of that her dad really is trying, but he can't. He has to like try for himself. And like I just really liked that scene. It was really emotional. It was really good.
Mm-hmm. My personal favorite cinematography part of this episode was how they went back and forth between like the real life story, like with the real people, Rue and them, and then how they went into the play world, the theater version of it, the thread story conveyed by Lexi. My I can't talk. A particular specific points where like made me kind of like gas, just like how well directed it was when Rue was finishing up with her speech and whatnot. She had already been done with her speech at her father's funeral, and she was walking down the hallway. You see the guests in the hallway talking and stuff like that, and they kind of just move aside when she's walking down the hallway, and then she's like looking outside, and you see how beautiful it is outside, how like how nicely saturated the colors are of the grass and the sun and the neighborhood, and you just kind of like see the screen like the represented like the window she was looking out of, but like I can tell like it was really just a screen that you can tell from like the play switching over and flipping, like the lighting, like it's hard to explain, but like,
no, I get what you mean.
You know what I'm talking about, like how she was looking out the window, but in the play you could see that was a screen, how like they just shifted and flipped it like over, and how the lighting went along with it to make it look so natural, but like it's not natural because like a window's just not gonna flip over.
Yeah, those transitions were crazy.
The transitions is what always pulls me in. I love the transitions and how they use lighting to like portray those transitions.
Another scene that I thought, well, I kind of already talked about it. I guess this would be less cinematography, but more just production and like, I guess maybe styling, costume design, all that kind of stuff. The contrast between Cassie and Maddie, you know, their outfits. One, their outfits. Two, one being battered and beat up, and one looking put together. I love that because I feel like all this season, I started noticing the differences in between their nails and like how they walk, and like especially if I want to go back to the scene where Nate had got beat up or whatever, and they were in the hospital. They were running alongside of the hospital bed. What's it called? The stretcher. Yeah, that.
Yeah.
The differences in how they were acting in that scene, it just kind of reminded me. This scene in this episode reminded me of that, and I was just like, see, Cassie wants to be something that she can't, she can't handle to be. She want to be in a position where she can't handle it. She wants to be somebody. I feel like she went from loving her best friend to being so envious of her, and this,
yeah, like
I
jealousy.
feel like that really shows it.
Yeah, you can see the jealousy just kind of take over, like.
Yes, like I could not imagine myself dressing like somebody else, down to the T, down to the hair. Like she started ironing her hair with a middle part. Like, girl, when you ever did that? When did you ever have bone straight middle part hair? When? Like,
the edges, the makeup.
Yeah, the edges part got me.
Yeah, the edges
really got me, and the glittery makeup.
The edges, the makeup, that look. So that scene, that like iconic scene of her walking down the hallway holding Nate's hand. And like her boobs is just bouncing, and she's just like not a care in the world. The makeup, her eye makeup, in particular, her eyeshadow was the exact same look that Maddie had in season 1 when she was hanging out with Kat at the mall talking about Nate's sexuality. It was this almost the same exact look. The outfit was very similar too. It wasn't the same outfit, but it was a similar like style, of course. To what Maddie had looked like in that scene at the mall from season 1. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Shorty crazy.
Insane.
Did you guys have any favorite writing moments? Or I guess a dialogue? Any last lines that really stuck with you? One of the lines that really stuck with me, I guess, was just Fezco begging and pleading Ashtray to come out, and like him saying, stop, there's a kid in there, there's a kid in there, there's a kid in there. I was just like, oh, I feel like Fez is so nonchalant. He's always so going with the flow that it kills me to hear him scream and cry like that. Like it was just, it was like we're getting a whole nother side of Fez. And Ashtray was definitely, of course, that's his family, but that's definitely one of his, weak spots.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just, I feel like that was just an interesting writing moment. And like how we talked about earlier, Rue and Jules, her decision and really not say anything, she kissed her forehead and walked away. That was a great scene as well, because I was expecting a conversation to happen. And I was kind of shocked. I was like, Rue got up and walked away? Like,
yes.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, she didn't feed into the whole, I miss you so much, I love you.
Yeah, I would say for like my writing moment would have to be like the last scene of Rue, and how she was talking about how she kind of acknowledged the fact that she probably wasn't in love with Jules, or she didn't really see Jules as like her first love because she was pretty much high throughout all of it. I like that she kind of like, unlike past season or like the last other episodes, she kind of recognized the fact that, she has been taking drugs, and like the things that she's done weren't always like the best. And like it made me like really excited for season 3, and where she's gonna go from now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh no, I was just agreeing.
I feel like this next chapter, hopefully she stays clean. I feel like this next chapter of Rue is gonna be interesting because honestly, depending on where they pick up in the story, Maddie and Cassie are supposed to be, they're seniors now, so they're gonna be graduating, and now Rue and Jules, they're gonna be becoming seniors, and like this is gonna be a whole new chapter in their lives, and it's gonna be a whole new dynamic in the show. So
yeah. My personal favorite writing moments was the very last scene you see of Maddie and Cassie is Maddie's line, "Oh, don't worry, this is just the beginning." I'm like, oh, what is like here? I'm in my head. Okay, what does she mean by this is just the beginning? Is she talking about revenge? I'm gonna get you back. Like, don't you worry. It's more to come of this. Like, I got you tonight, but I'm still going to keep getting you. Like, is she talking about revenge, or is she talking about the relationship with Nate? When she was like, what's funny? Nate broke up with me right before I even got on that stage. And she's like, okay, that's just the beginning. Like, is she referring to the relationship? Like, oh, that's just the beginning of, the abuse that you're about to tolerate.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, that's right. Right. It's so many.
Same thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why I really like it leaves you like with a cliffhanger, but it's like, it's so many different interpretations that you can come up with of what Maddie meant by that line. Like, what does she mean?
I honestly took it as she was nodding off to, Cass's relationship with Nate. I feel like Maddie was basically like, girl, you wanted him so bad. This is the beginning. Like, you finna get broken up with over and over again. You finna get abused. Like, just like how I did. You wanted him so bad. You wanted my abusive relationship so bad. Now you got it.
Yep.
Like,
there's your trophy.
Like, congratulations, girl. Congratulations.
Yes.
That's how I took it.
I also like how classic, like, it was just like a classic scene when Rue was walking away and she was narrating, I stayed queen for the rest of the school year. It was like those classic endings to the movies, like Mean Girls and stuff like that, where you see the characters just walk away and they're like with their new friends and like, I stayed clean for the rest of the school year. I don't know what this means for me. And this, it was a really classic ending, like that you see in a lot of like movies, popular movies and stuff like that. I like that they made that choice.
And I like that she walked out of a door frame in the school and walked past the school buses. I was like, oh,
just like, yeah. And she was just walking. She was looking around at her surroundings. She was just
present.
She was present in the moment. She was taking in her environment and she was smiling too. Like, she had her hair tied up in a nice, cute little ponytail. She was smiling. She was glowing. She had her hands in her pocket and she was just like walking with no types of fear or anxiety, no types of intoxication.
Right.
Like, she just was her. We just got to see her. I
think it also played on the fact that Rue spent a majority of all of season 1 and all if not majority of season 2 trying to escape her reality so much that, like you said, she was finally present in the moment and taking in everything. And it was refreshing. And I feel like as a viewer, I had a sigh of relief. Like, okay, she was, she's been sober for a little bit. Now it seems like she kind of wants to be sober.
Mm-hmm.
And she even said it's just easier. I'm like, okay, if it's easier, let's keep it that way, please.
Yeah.
We won't die.
Come on now. Come on. Like, you can do it. She can do it. She can do it.
Right. She said like we know her. But you guys got any other, or just in general, any other favorite moments from the season or just even season 1, since we might have to wait 2 years?
My favorite moment in season 1 would have to be like the finale scene of like the Donny Hathaway song playing, and like we got to see kind of like little moments of her life. And I don't know, I'm just really like, I really am happy for Rue. Like, I really want her to like continue to stay clean, and I don't know, I think she can do it, but I don't know.
Mm-hmm. This has nothing to do with what we saw in the episode. This is more of a social media thing, but I don't know if y'all follow him. What's his name? He plays McKay.
Algie?
Yes.
Algie, yeah.
I don't know if y'all follow him on Instagram or any of the socials, but did you see what he posted after that episode?
No, I did not. What did he post?
He posted a picture of him and Nate and Cassie in the back looking at them. And this was at the carnival from season 1. You know what? You remember what went down at the carnival at season 1? The whole argument and Nate like basically slut shaming Cassie and whatnot. Yeah. He posted that picture of like him and Nate together and her in the background looking like so disappointed in McKay. And he was in the, what was the caption? It was like,
oh, I'm looking at it right now. He said, who knew?
Who knew? Yes. And he posted another one earlier on in the season with just a picture of him and Cassie. It was like, we belong together or we're better together, something like that.
Yes, we were better for each other.
Something petty and stupid. I'm like, oh my God. But he's not even in the
right.
One time that whole season, I was really hoping to see more of him this season. That's one of my main disappointments with this season. I was really hoping to see more of McKay and more of his story. Cause like, come on now. he's had some trauma too. I understand he's in college and whatnot, but like, maybe that's the season.
I would have loved to see his reaction to his best friend getting with his girl.
I'm like, can we see that? Can we see that? We already see Maddie. We know what Maddie's doing. But
especially after what Nate was saying to him on New Year's being overly pushy and a little bit weird.
Yeah, that was
weird.
I
wanted to see him piece that together.
Yeah, like, oh my gosh. Maybe that's the coming season 3 though. Maybe season 3 when they about to leave high school and whatnot, and we carry on to college.
Right.
What if Maddie? I'm just kidding. I'm not even gonna go that way. What if Maddie get with McKay or something? I don't know. I don't know.
I think
they go to college.
Might be like, no, I don't want nothing to do with nobody related to him.
Right? Probably. But who knows? Who knows?
Okay, so wait, what was the question I asked? Any favorite moments? Did I say mine? I guess one of my favorite moments. Oh, I had to think about this. I would say the Maddie beating up Cassie, but like it is, but I don't know.
It wasn't enough.
It wasn't enough. Like it fulfilled me for a little bit, but now I'm like, yeah, I really want her to rock her. But I think one of my other favorite moments, even though this is a sad moment, just to see, I think it's one of my favorite just to see Zendaya act like this was the scene where Jules and Elliot done snitched on her and Rue was going crazy in the house, busting down doors, cussing everybody out basically. That was one of my favorite scenes just from an acting perspective and also just to, I guess, theme-wise, see how much addiction can like mess up somebody and mess with their head and have them be so irate. It just was an interesting scene. And Zendaya better get an Emmy, is all I'm saying. She better get another one.
She gonna get another one for real because
and even Sydney Sweeney, I feel like she even should get a nomination too, because having to act like that for an entire 8 episodes.
Yes, the entire season.
Yeah. Especially for her scene of her saying I'm crazier and her breathing in that window on that door like that. She might need to get a nomination or two. Like I feel like she should get something.
She definitely should. She definitely
should.
That's because like it's not easy. Like it's not as easy as people think it is to portray deep characters like that with so much depth and with so much trauma. Yeah. It's not easy portraying characters like that, especially if you have no like personal life experience to that. Like I don't think Zendaya has no like we know Zendaya doesn't have a real life personal experience with like drug addiction. So for like with her to get into that character and whatnot, right. I applaud it. Like that takes a lot. It takes a lot to portray something that you are like completely opposite of in real life. Same thing for Sydney. I don't think she's nothing like. Matter of fact, I know she's something like that. She used to be an MMA fighter. Like,
oh really?
Yeah. That's the thing. That's what's so funny about this whole Maddie and Cassie fight thingy. Because I know in real life it wouldn't have gone down like that. Because Sydney used to fight. Like Sydney was an actual professional fighter.
I had no idea.
Yeah. She used to I forgot which division it was, but she actually participated in fights and matches and stuff like that in her past. So she knows how to fight in real life, but to like have to strip that, like that's another, it's like a pride thing for me personally. Cause if I had to strip away that background and like run around and act scared, even though I know in real life I could really fight, like
right.
That would be hard for me to portray. She deserves a nomination for that too. Like
yeah, actors, they be acting. They be doing
it's good. It's really good. They are talented. They have some talented people in the cast of Euphoria.
Right. I don't know. Did we already talk about predictions? I feel like we've been touching on it overall. I don't know if y'all want to
a little bit. We touched on predictions a little bit.
We could talk about it. Let's get into it. I could go first if y'all want me to.
I was gonna say about the predictions thing. That I think there's gonna be a time jump. Like I think there's gonna be like maybe I don't know. We'll see probably Rue graduate, but I don't know. I feel like I would want like a bigger time jump than that, just because I feel like we've already like technically the show is like in 2019 or 2020. So, but I think it's gonna be like like a year time jump or something.
Yeah. So you think we'll probably jump ahead to where Rue and everybody is about to graduate?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I can see that happening, or I could see a time jump that to that time, or like like in the summer about to start senior year. I think this ended on like the end of the school year. Well, she talked about, she narrated and said she finished the school year sober.
Yeah.
So
yeah, at least a time jump between that and like hopefully like season 3 will at least end with their next step in their life. At least we get like some type of preview or something, a little
or at least we know what's happening.
Like, right, a little trailer of like, are they going to college? Are they moving out of this effed up town? Like,
right,
what are they doing?
Yeah.
Is Lexi about to become a freaking well-known famous director? Is she gonna go to film and acting school? Like, I
want to know too. I honestly feel like we're gonna get a lot. I feel like Fez is gonna be in jail. Like, I feel like we're gonna get a lot of him being in jail, and I feel like we're gonna see a lot of characters. Well, we're not even a lot. We're gonna see Lexi and Rue, go visit. And I feel like that whole situation with Rue and that suitcase is gonna catch up in season 3.
Oh yeah.
That's what I feel like is gonna be one of the key things. Cause I thought about that at the end of the season, after the episode finished, and I was like, wait, we ain't ever concluded on what's going on with the suitcase and the lady. We ain't never went back to
I mean, and you know what? They were really clever in having Faye bring that up, because like that also, like her whole trying to distract from the op, whatever his name was, we're gonna call him op, trying to turn it on Fez, and Ashtray, her like pivoting the conversation, like, yeah, you told me that Lori and them was the ones that did it. So that gave insight, and that, like, I know they got that on recording because of course this phone was recording and SWAT team was listening the whole time. So I feel like that specific moment gives insight to what's going to happen in season 3, because now they made names are mentioned. The SWAT, so they gonna find out who these people are. They're gonna be questioning, grilling people left and right, and that it's gonna be a really big moment, because these are the higher ups. Like, she is a drug lord basically, and now her cover's blown because of Faye. And I feel like Faye's next. Like, Faye is in danger now. Like, she did the right thing, letting Fez know what was up, but she risked her life too, because you didn't brought in Lori now.
And I also feel like Rue's about to be in danger as well.
Yeah, they're all in danger. They're all in danger. Even Lexi, she might be in danger too.
Honestly.
Especially like the play, that was nothing. Now,
yeah, because tell them what they gonna do to her because of that.
Exactly. And notice how when Fez was getting dragged up, they were stepping on Lexi's little invitation, that little card.
Yeah.
Yeah. Her name is at the crime of the scene.
Lord.
So she gonna get dragged into it too. Even though she had nothing to do with what was going on, nothing to do with the drugs, nothing to do like that, just because her name was there and she was there by association, she gonna get dragged into it too. So like, Rue's in danger, Lexi's in danger, Faye's in danger, Fez, at that point, it's no longer danger to him, because like it's done. Like, he's gone. Lori's in trouble because her name got brought up. Like, her whole operation, everybody is just in trouble now.
Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say that I think that Fez is gonna get like probably reduced time, because now that Ashtray is dead, and they kind of Faye could tell them that like Ashtray killed Mouse and the other guy. So like I feel like Fez won't get as much time because they can pin it all on Ashtray and also Lori, because she brought that up. So I feel like, or like Fez could also work with the police to get less time to like expose Lori. But I feel like it's gonna mess up with Rue because she's with Lori, and yeah.
Who knows how it's gonna go? Like, it's just so many things that could happen. Yeah. And honestly, I just hope my dude Fez gets out of jail, and I hope Rue stays sober. I hope Nate don't try to do nothing to Lexi.
Yeah.
I
I feel
hope.
like go ahead.
Oh, I hope Cassie get her mind right and come back to her senses and get over this man. But
Yes. I feel like with every season though that's to come, it's gonna get a little bit more seriouser, a little bit more like, I don't know,
deep,
dark.
serious, dark. I feel like
Darker.
this season got real dark.
Like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. You look and compare season 1 to season 2, and it's just like it's a big, big dramatic difference. Like from everything to the plot, to the character development, to the makeup, to the costumes, to even the camera they filmed on. I forgot which episode it was, but when they went into like the cinematography and like you have the characters come out and they're discussing and Sam Winston and them is talking about like filming and stuff like that, all the film aspects and behind the scenes aspects. They even said they filmed this whole entire season on one of them old school cameras.
I think it's Kodak. I think.
Yeah.
What? They use Kodak?
Yeah, they filmed the whole entire season on a completely different camera from what they used in season 1.
And I think they also had to ask Kodak to make it again because they stopped making that film.
Yeah, it's like an old style vintage film that they were using to film this season on than they were in season 1.
Wow, I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Now I want to go back and rewatch both seasons and look at the contrast. Like I'm probably
binge watch it.
Yes, for sure. But yeah, what would y'all rate? Matthew, let's do rate the episode and rate this season in comparison to season 1.
I would rate this episode. I'm gonna go with an 8, just because I feel like there are so many like loose threads that I feel like I wish we got like some like closing with, like the suitcase, and then also I wish we got like closing with more closing with Maddie and Lexi. Maddie and Cassie, yeah. And then the season, I would rate it like a 7 because compared to season 1, I miss kind of the structure of season 1 more than this season. Especially like how every episode kind of focused on like one character. I feel like this season kind of jumped around a lot between characters, and I feel like it kind of like made it hard to like for each character get like a complete character arc. But yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I would personally rate this season 2. I would also give it an 8. Basically because like to what Christa was saying, like, you know, character development, character arcs, a lot of things that was kept a secret and kept, you know, underneath the table came out. Everything that was kept in the dark, just about almost everything that was kept in the dark came to the light. Just about. And the way it happened could have been different for some of the characters, but like at the same time, it's a very much needed change for a lot of them. Like it needed to happen. So I liked season 2 for that. I like skeletons being pulled off the closet. I like that. I in general, not only like just with Euphoria, but any type of show, any type of movie, anything. I love this. I love skeletons being pulled out the closet. I love it. I just always like that type of aspect of a plot. So yeah, I don't like how some of the, like I said, I wish some of the other characters we see more depth in, like McKay and whatnot, and how they just kind of picked up bits and pieces of people's stories and just kind of left some of the stuff, what happened in the past, just left in the past, and we just move on to the next thing. Like, I kind of don't like that. I feel like they could have at least addressed a little bit of everything here and there, but I guess, you know, you can only do so much at the time you're giving in. Season 1, I would rate a 6. I would rate season 1 a 6. Yeah.
Okay, for me, this episode I would rate it an 8, just like y'all. But for me, I rated it because one day I had to kill Ashley, and too, like y'all said, I kind of wish more things were wrapped up. Well, not even wrapped up, like, I guess circling back to it a little bit, but I think that's the, they got to leave it on a cliffhanger for us to come back on more. But I do feel like a lot of things kind of went like it happened and we're not going to talk about it until season 3, basically. And I didn't like that. So, yeah. And I guess in comparison, the overall season in comparison to season 1, it's been a while since I've seen season 1, y'all, by the way. So
right.
Right. But I don't know. I might give it. I'm gonna say for me, I'm gonna say 8.5 because I just loved how this season got real dark, deep, and it was different. I feel like the way I felt watching this season versus season 1, it just, I think I could not even relate to it anymore, but I feel like since these characters are supposed to be teenagers and I'm going on 22, it was easier for me to feel more connected because I feel like they were going through deeper things that I could honestly say are real life. And honestly, some teenagers are dealing with that. And some of my friends have been through certain things,
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I loved it. Any last comments or thoughts before I close out? No, just R.I.P. Ashtray.
R.I.P. Ashtray.
R.I.P. Ashtray. Stay sober, Rue. We love it. We love the show.
Please, Rue. For the sake of humanity, like, please.
Yeah, so I don't have any upcoming music TV shows to talk about this time around, y'all. But we'll be back after our spring break with episode 3. So check us out then, guys. Stay tuned.
Yes.